The city streets were alive with colors and sounds, alien vendors shouting their prices, strange lights glowing from every corner, and the air smelled of spices and smoke. Alex walked carefully, keeping an eye on the crowd. He was here for a simple delivery, nothing more. But something in the air made him uneasy, a strange tension that prickled at the back of his neck. Ahead, a young alien girl stood frozen, her small frame trembling as she clutched a bag too big for her. Her skin shimmered faintly under the streetlights, and her eyes were wide with fear. Alex noticed her just in time, a feeling in his chest urging him to move closer. Then it happened. A sudden explosion ripped through the street, a fiery shockwave throwing people off their feet. Carts smashed, fruits and alien gadgets scattered across the pavement. Screams echoed as chaos took over the once lively market. Alex didn't think. He ran, his eyes locked on the girl, and in one swift motion, he pushed her out of the way, shielding her with his own body. The heat from the blast seared against his skin. Shrapnel tore through the air, and Alex felt a sharp pain in his shoulder. He fell to the ground, rolling to avoid more debris. The girl cried out, reaching for him, but Alex forced a weak smile, his blood mixing with dust and smoke. He could barely see, the world spinning around him. Yet he knew she was safe. That was enough for now. As he struggled to rise, another wave of fire hit the street, flames licking at the sides of buildings, sending more terrified people screaming in every direction. Alex gritted his teeth, trying to crawl forward, his hands scraping against broken glass and rubble. The pain was intense, but he pushed through it, focusing only on the girl. He reached her side and grabbed her hand, holding her tightly. "It's okay. I've got you," he whispered, though his voice was hoarse and shaking. The girl nodded, tears running down her glowing cheeks, and her small hands clutched his arm as if he was her anchor. The explosion had torn open a hole in the street, smoke rising like a black cloud, and in the chaos, Alex could see shadowy figures moving quickly. They weren't like the citizens, their shapes sharp and mechanical, scanning the street as if hunting. Alex realized then that this was not an accident. Someone had planned this, and the girl was the target. A chill ran through him, but he couldn't let fear control him. He had to protect her, no matter what. A sudden metallic screech rang from above, and a piece of debris crashed just a few feet away. Sending sparks flying, Alex flinched but stood his ground, pulling the girl behind a broken stall for cover. She looked at him with wide, frightened eyes, and he nodded reassuringly. "We'll be safe here for now." Time seemed to slow. Every heartbeat loud in his ears. The smoke swirled around them, shadows moving like predators. Alex scanned the street, searching for an escape. He needed a plan, but the crowd was panicked, blocking every path, and more explosions shook the ground beneath them. Then he saw it, a glimmer of light near the far end of the street. "A chance to run," Alex whispered. "Follow me. Stay close." And together, they dashed through the chaos, ducking under falling debris, narrowly avoiding sparks and flames. Alex could feel his strength fading, blood soaking his clothes, but he ignored it, pushing forward with every ounce of energy he had. Suddenly, a massive blast shook the ground, throwing Alex to the pavement. Pain exploding across his chest, and for a moment he saw stars, the world fading into darkness. But then he felt a small hand gripping his, pulling him forward, the girl refusing to let go. He gasped for breath, the smell of smoke and burning metal filling his nose, and with one final push, he rolled them both into the shadow of a ruined building, safe for the moment. The explosion still roaring behind them, Alex lay on the ground, bleeding, his vision blurring, but his eyes were fixed on the girl. She was alive, trembling but safe, and that was all that mattered. He could feel life slipping from him, the pain intense, his mind foggy. Yet through the haze he saw something strange, a faint, shimmering light weaving through the smoke, almost alive, dancing just above the rubble. The girl whispered, "Please, don't leave me," her voice trembling but full of hope, and Alex reached for her, trying to smile through the pain. "I'm not going anywhere," he said, though the words barely left his lips. And then the world went black. The explosions, fading into silence, only the faint hum of that strange light remaining, hinting at something beyond comprehension, something that would change everything for Alex and the girl. The streets lay in ruin, fire smoldering, smoke rising into the night sky, but in the darkness, hope remained, and Alex's story had only just begun. Alex woke slowly, his eyes blinking. Against a soft, pale light, his body felt strange, lighter, almost weightless, and the pain from the explosion was gone. He tried to sit up, but his limbs moved easily, too easily, as if he had been healed in an instant. He looked around and his breath caught. The streets, the market, everything was gone, replaced by a place that seemed like a dream. A floating city, buildings shimmering with colors he had never seen, towers twisting in impossible shapes, connected by glowing bridges, floating platforms hovering in midair. The air was crisp and clean, with a faint hum that vibrated through his bones. Alex tried to remember what had happened. The girl, the explosion, the chaos. But it all felt distant, like a memory from another life. Then he noticed the girl, standing a few feet away, her eyes wide, her glowing skin brighter than before, her hair shimmering with tiny sparks. She smiled faintly, and Alex felt an odd calmness, as if her presence was grounding him. He tried to speak. "Where are we?" But no words came at first. The voice in his head answered instead, not in speech but in thoughts, clear and calm. "You are safe, human. You have passed the threshold." Alex frowned, not understanding. "Threshold? What do you mean?" Before him, the girl lifted her hand and the air shimmered, forming a translucent dome around them. Inside, images appeared, showing galaxies, stars, and planets moving in patterns that Alex could not comprehend. It was as if he could see the pulse of the universe. A figure appeared then, tall, elegant, glowing faintly, its skin smooth and reflective, eyes deep like pools of light. It spoke, though Alex could hear it directly in his mind. "You have crossed into a place beyond Earth. Beyond your world, human, your actions have changed the course of more lives than you can imagine." Alex shook his head, confused. I just saved her. I didn't do anything else." The figure seemed to smile, a soft curve of light. Saving her was not just an act of courage. It was a spark. The spark that began a chain reaction, one that will decide the fate of many civilizations. Alex swallowed, his heart pounding. He had only been in the market for a few minutes, but now it felt like his entire life had changed. He looked around, seeing alien beings with skin like glass, glowing veins, hovering above the ground, their eyes fixed on him, curious, measuring but not hostile. The girl stepped closer to him, her small hand brushing against his arm, sending a strange warmth through him. She communicated again, not with words but with images and feelings, flashes of her world under threat, cities burning, creatures fleeing. A silent scream that resonated through Alex's chest. He clenched his fists. I will help you," he whispered, though it felt like the words were for himself as much as for her. Suddenly, the light around them shifted, forming a holographic map, showing planets he had never seen, symbols that pulsed with energy. Alex realized. The girl's world was only one of many, connected in a network of civilizations, each fragile, each depending on choices like his. A sound echoed then, deep and resonant, vibrating through the dome. "You must learn quickly, human. There is little time. The threat that destroyed your market is only the beginning." Alex's mind raced, questions forming faster than he could answer. How had he come here? What was this place? Why was he chosen? But fear was replaced with determination. He had saved one life before, and now he understood that he might have to save many more. The girl tugged at his hand, leading him toward a platform that floated above the city. As they moved, Alex noticed other humans, or creatures like him, standing in quiet corners watching, waiting, some nodding as if recognizing him, some filled with curiosity. The glowing figure appeared again. "Do not fear, human. You have been brought here because your heart is strong, your courage rare, and your choices matter. Everything you do from this moment will ripple across galaxies." Alex nodded, trying to absorb it all, his mind spinning, but he felt a strange clarity, as if the pain, fear, and chaos of the market had sharpened him, made him ready for the challenges ahead. They reached a chamber, walls made of light and energy, symbols floating and rotating in the air. The girl gestured toward a device that hovered in the center. "This will help you understand and guide you," she communicated, images showing him using it to see events unfolding, to predict dangers, to protect. Alex stepped forward, awe and fear mixing in equal measure. He could feel the weight of responsibility pressing on him, yet for the first time he felt capable, ready. Outside, the floating city stretched endlessly, towers shining like stars, platforms moving in patterns that seemed alive, the universe beyond beckoning, strange and beautiful and terrifying all. At once Alex glanced at the girl. We have a long road ahead," he said, voice soft but full of determination. She nodded, a faint smile. "Together," she replied, not with words, but with certainty. And as Alex looked out over the city, he knew that his life had changed forever. The human who bled to save one girl was now standing on the edge of a universe he had never imagined. The chapter ended with the hum of the city, the glow of the dome, and the feeling that everything was possible. If he was brave enough to take the next step, Alex followed the girl through the glowing corridors of the floating city. The walls, alive with shifting lights, symbols that pulsed like the heartbeat of the universe. Every step made him feel smaller, yet stronger at the same time. The girl moved with purpose, her eyes glowing faintly, and Alex could sense that she was not just leading him but guiding him, her thoughts brushing against his mind, sending images of distant worlds, of cities in flames, of creatures hiding. In fear, finally they reached a chamber that seemed older than the city itself. Walls carved from crystal, light bending in impossible patterns, and in the center stood a pedestal, floating in midair, with a small object resting on it, shimmering. Like liquid starlight, the girl gestured toward it, and Alex felt a sudden pull in his chest, a connection he could not explain, as if the object was calling to him. Yet he hesitated, his instincts screaming caution. "Do not be afraid," the girl communicated, her voice clear in his mind. "This is the key, but it is also a responsibility. The secret I carry is tied to it, and to our worlds." Alex reached out slowly, his hand trembling, and as his fingers touched the shimmering object, a rush of images filled his mind, overwhelming and bright. He saw the girl as she had never revealed herself before, her small body glowing with patterns of light, lines running across her skin like circuits, glowing brighter as she moved. He saw cities bowing under shadow, creatures fleeing from invisible threats, stars burning, and then glimpses of the girl standing at the center of it all, her eyes glowing, her hands reaching out, controlling, protecting, destroying. Alex stumbled back, breathing hard. You can do all this?" he whispered, his mind struggling to comprehend. The girl nodded, faint tears sparkling in her eyes. "I do not fully control it," she admitted. "I was born with it, but I do not know its limits. It is both a gift and a danger. It attracted the attack in your world, and now it is drawing us here, to this place." Alex's heart sank, realizing the truth, the explosion, the chaos, the people hurt. It had all been because of her power. Though he knew she was innocent, he could not ignore the weight of it. She stepped closer, placing a hand on his shoulder, the glow from her skin washing over him. "But you saved me," she said softly. "And now we have a chance to use it for good. To protect, not just survive." Alex nodded, determination rising within him. "Then I will help. You no matter what. I don't care about the danger. I just don't want anyone else to get hurt." The girl smiled faintly, a warmth spreading through her, and suddenly the pedestal's light flared, sending a beam into the sky, connecting with other points of light scattered across the city, across the floating platforms, and Alex realized they were forming a network, a map, showing him places he had never imagined, planets and cities connected like a web of glowing threads. This network, Alex whispered, Is it for your power? Yes, the girl replied. It amplifies it, helps me control it, but it also shows where help is needed, where danger is rising, and it can guide you, human, because your courage is rare, your heart strong, and your choices matter. Alex felt a chill, the responsibility pressing on him, yet a spark of hope ignited. He had always thought of himself as just a human, small and weak in a galaxy of wonders. But now he realized that his actions, his courage could ripple through worlds. The girl led him to a platform overlooking the floating city, where other glowing beings hovered, their eyes filled with curiosity and caution, and Alex understood they were waiting, watching, deciding if he was worthy. Suddenly, the air shifted, a hum deep and resonant vibrating through the platform, and Alex saw shadows moving in the distance, dark shapes unlike anything he had seen approaching quickly, scanning the city, seeking the girl, seeking him. He stepped forward instinctively, placing himself between her and the shadows. "They're coming for you," he said, voice steady despite the fear rising inside. The girl's eyes glowed brighter, lines of light running across her arms as energy built, pulsing with power, and she whispered, "I will try to hold them, but you must be ready, human. You may have to make choices you never imagined." Alex swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the moment, the city glowing beneath them, the network of stars above. The shadows moving closer, and yet he felt alive, ready, his heart beating with a rhythm that matched the hum of the universe. As the shadows drew near, Alex and the girl stood together, two figures against the unknown, the first spark of their alliance burning bright, the secret of the girl revealed, and the path ahead both terrifying and full of hope. And in that moment, Alex understood that saving her had been just the beginning. The real journey was only starting. A journey that would challenge everything he knew, everything he was, and the fate of more than one world rested on their courage. The hum of the city, the glowing network, and the approaching shadows all blended into one, signaling that the next chapter was coming, and Alex knew he had to be ready. For the first time he felt it deeply, the truth of the HFY spirit, human courage, human heart, could change even the stars themselves. The shadows moved closer, a dark wave against the glowing city, their shapes flickering like smoke and fire combined. Alex's chest tightened, fear mixing with adrenaline. But he refused to back down. He had saved the girl once, and he would do it again. The girl's eyes glowed brighter, patterns of light running along her arms and legs, her small body radiating power like a star ready to explode. She held her hands forward, forming a barrier of shimmering energy that shimmered and pulsed. Alex stepped beside her, feeling an odd warmth flow through him, as if her energy connected to his courage, giving him strength he had never known. The first shadow lunged, moving faster than Alex could see, striking the barrier with a sound like metal scraping stone. The force shook the ground, cracks appearing in the floating platform beneath them. Alex grabbed a piece of debris, swinging it instinctively at the approaching shapes, and to his surprise, it burned the shadows, leaving trails of darkness that dissolved into the air. The girl's voice echoed in his mind, urgent and steady. "Focus, human. They are drawn to fear. Do not give it to them. Control your heart, and the energy will respond." Alex nodded, taking a deep breath, feeling the warmth of her hand on his shoulder. And slowly he felt calm, the fear retreating, replaced by determination. The shadows multiplied, more emerging from the edges of the city, their forms twisting and writhing, some taking shapes that resembled beasts, others like moving storms, their eyes glowing with a pale red light, hungry, searching, attacking. The girl lifted her hands higher, the energy barrier expanding, forming a dome around them. But the shadows were relentless, striking at it with everything they had, bending the light, testing the limits of her power. Alex looked at her. "I can help. Tell me what to do." She nodded, her eyes meeting his. "Take the network map. Connect with it, feel its pulse. It will guide you where they are weakest." Alex reached out to the glowing device, and instantly, his mind filled with images of the city, the shadows' positions, their paths, the points where the energy was. Thin, he moved instinctively, throwing his weight into the attack, guiding energy through the map, sending pulses that amplified the girl's barrier, splitting the shadows, pushing them back. One shadow broke through the dome, its dark tendrils snaking toward the girl, and Alex reacted, diving forward, grabbing it, and pulling with all his strength, the shadow shrieking like fire burning against his hands. The girl's energy flared, enveloping them both, and the shadow screamed, dissolving into a cloud of mist that drifted away, leaving Alex breathing heavily, his heart pounding. The city around them trembled, glowing bridges shifting, platforms wobbling. But the girl maintained her focus, her patterns of light intensifying, glowing lines spreading across the city like a river of stars. Alex realized then that they were not just defending themselves, they were defending the entire network. Every life connected to the glowing threads, every planet, every city, every world. Another shadow lunged, faster, larger, moving like a storm, and Alex saw that the girl could not stop it alone. He shouted, "We fight together!" He stepped forward, energy from the network pulsing through him, connecting him to the girl's power, and for a brief moment, he felt unstoppable. Their combined courage forming a shield brighter than the stars. Pushing back the darkness, the shadow struck the ground, sending waves of dark energy. But Alex and the girl met it head-on, pushing, guiding, until it fractured, dissolving into smaller pieces that scattered into the air, harmless for now. The girl gasped, "They will keep coming, human. This is only the beginning. They are drawn to my power, and soon they will target the network itself." Alex wiped sweat from his brow, looking around at the city, glowing, alive and trembling under the attack. "Then we fight until they stop, no matter what." The girl nodded, a faint smile appearing despite the exhaustion. "Your courage. It strengthens me, Alex, never doubt it. Together we can face anything." A loud roar echoed from the far edge of the city, and Alex saw the largest shadow yet, moving like a living mountain, its red eyes fixed on them, pulsing with hate and hunger. The girl's hands flared, a blinding light radiating outward, and she whispered, "This one is different, human. You must trust me and trust yourself. We will face it together." Alex swallowed, feeling the weight of the moment, knowing that this shadow could destroy them, the city, even the network. But he also knew he could not run, could not leave her, could not fail. They stood side by side, energy pulsing between them, glowing light against consuming darkness, two figures ready to face a storm unlike anything Alex had ever imagined. And in that moment he realized the truth. The HFY spirit was not about being the strongest or the fastest. It was about courage, determination, and heart, standing tall even when the odds were impossible. The first clash was coming, a battle that would test everything he knew about himself, and Alex felt a surge of resolve, ready to face the shadows, protect the girl, and fight for the lives connected to the network. The city trembled, shadows roared, and the human and the girl stood together, the first spark of hope in a storm of darkness, ready for the fight that would decide the fate of more than one world. After the clash with the shadows, the city was quiet for a brief moment, the glowing platforms trembling under the remnants of the energy waves. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of the girl's power through the network, a strange rhythm that seemed to speak directly to his heart. The girl led him to a control chamber at the highest point of the floating city, a place filled with glowing panels, holographic screens, and threads of light floating in midair like living veins. "This is where I can see everything connected to me," the girl explained, her hands hovering above the threads, moving them carefully. "But there is something I have never shared, something hidden even from me." Alex frowned, curiosity mixing with caution. "Hidden? What do you mean?" The girl hesitated, her glow flickering. "The network. It is more than a guide, more than a map of worlds in need. It is alive in a way I cannot fully understand. It reacts to emotions, to choices, to courage and fear, and it may have a will of its own." Alex's heart skipped, the stakes suddenly higher than ever. "A will of its own? Are you saying it chooses?" The girl nodded, her eyes dimming for a moment. It chooses those who can carry the responsibility, those whose courage matches its needs, and sometimes it judges, punishes, or protects depending on what it sees in them. Alex swallowed, realizing that the shadows, the attack, the danger, they were not random, they were a test, a trial, by the network itself, testing the girl, testing him, testing their ability to survive together. He stepped closer. And us? Does it see us as worthy? The girl's patterns glowed brighter, pulsing like a heartbeat. I do not know, human. It has never revealed that part to me, but it responds to you, to your courage, your choices, and that is why I was able to survive the attack when others might have failed. Alex reached out, touching one of the glowing threads, and instantly, a vision flooded his mind, showing worlds torn apart, cities falling into shadow, alien civilizations collapsing under mysterious forces, and then, the girl standing alone, glowing, reaching out to protect them all. He gasped. All of this. It's connected to you? The girl nodded, a faint smile on her lips. Not just to me, Alex, to all who can connect, who can use the network for good. But there is a risk. If the shadows succeed in breaking the network, it could destroy everything it protects and perhaps more. Alex's heart pounded, realizing the scale, the stakes, the impossible task before them. Then we have to protect it, no matter what. The girl's eyes glowed softly. Yes, but there is more. Something the network has hidden even from me, a truth about its origin, and about why it brought you here, human. Alex felt a shiver run down his spine. Why me? Why did it bring me? Here? The girl hesitated, then moved her hands over the threads, a new set of images forming, revealing a chamber hidden deep within the city, locked behind layers of energy and light, pulsating like a heartbeat of the universe itself. This chamber, she whispered, it contains the core of the network, the reason it exists and what it truly wants. But no one has ever reached it. Not fully. Not without risking everything. Alex's curiosity burned brighter than his fear. Then to reach it, we have to see what it wants, we have to know the truth. The girl nodded, a mixture of hope and worry in her eyes. Yes, but to do that we must be ready. The shadows will try to stop us, and there are forces even I do not understand. Forces that may see us as enemies, not protectors. Alex's hand clenched into a fist, determination rising. I don't care what comes, I will face it, for you, for the network, for the lives it protects, I will not fail. The girl's glow flared, her energy connecting to his, and for a brief moment he felt the network itself acknowledging his courage, a warmth spreading through him, stronger than anything he had ever known. Suddenly, a pulse shot through the city, the threads of light vibrating violently, and both Alex and the girl turned, seeing shadows gathering again, larger, faster, more intelligent, as if they had learned from the last battle, adapting, calculating. This is it, human, the girl said, her voice steady. They are coming, for the core, for the chamber, and we must be there first. We cannot let them destroy the truth. We cannot let them destroy hope. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment, the network pulsing through him, the girl's energy wrapping around him like a shield, and he knew, without doubt, that the next steps would be dangerous, perhaps deadly, but necessary. Together, they moved toward the hidden chamber, floating over the glowing city, the threads of light stretching before them, guiding, warning, pulsing with the rhythm of countless worlds. And as the shadows advanced, Alex realized that this was more than a fight for survival. It was a journey to uncover a truth that could change the galaxy, a secret hidden for centuries, waiting for courage to reach it. He looked at the girl, her glowing eyes fixed ahead, determination in every line of her small frame, and he whispered, "Then we go together. Whatever happens, we go together." The girl smiled faintly, and they stepped forward toward the chamber, toward the heart of the network, toward a truth that could either save or destroy everything they had fought to protect. And behind them, the shadows surged faster than ever, but Alex and the girl were ready, their courage burning like a beacon lighting the path through darkness. The network pulsed, the city trembled, and the human and the girl prepared to face the hidden truth. The ultimate challenge waiting at the heart of the floating city. Alex and the girl hovered above the glowing city, the threads of light stretching below them like rivers of stars guiding their path. Every step toward the chamber sending a pulse of energy through Alex, a rhythm that matched his heartbeat. The shadows were closer now, moving faster, more precise, their forms shifting like smoke, twisting, learning from their previous encounters. But Alex refused to let fear enter his mind. He had come too far. The aimed girl's glow intensified, patterns running along her arms and legs, bright and strong. The chamber is just ahead, human, but it will test everything. Your courage, your strength, your heart, she said, voice steady, though a faint tremor ran through her energy. Alex nodded, gripping the glowing network map tightly. I'm ready. I've never been more ready in my life. The chamber emerged from the threads of light like a giant crystal rising from the city, translucent walls glowing with energy, pulsing with life, almost breathing, almost alive. Alex felt it before he saw it, a presence that was larger than anything he had ever known, ancient, powerful, and aware. And he realized this was the heart of the network, the reason it existed. The girl reached out, touching the walls, and the chamber responded, streams of light opening pathways, revealing stairs that floated in midair, leading deep into the glowing core. This is it, human, she whispered, the chamber of destiny, the place where the network decides what is worthy and what is not. Alex swallowed, stepping forward, each movement sending ripples of light through the chamber. And he could feel the eyes of the network on him, questioning, judging, waiting for him to prove his courage. Shadows surged around them, attacking with speed and intelligence, trying to block their path, and Alex realized that this chamber was a test, not just for the girl, but for him, to see if he could protect what mattered most. He raised his hands, energy from the network flowing into him, and for the first time, he felt truly connected. Every beat of his heart aligned with the pulse of the network, guiding his movements, amplifying his courage. The girl's voice echoed, in his mind calm and strong. Do not fight with fear, human. Fight with heart, fight with hope, and the chamber will respond. Alex closed his eyes, focusing, and when he opened them, the shadows froze, unable to move against the force of his will combined with the girl's power. Step by step, they ascended the floating stairs, the chamber responding to every thought, every choice, every spark of courage, until they reached the center, a glowing sphere of light spinning slowly. Threads of, "This is the core," the girl said softly. "It holds the knowledge of every world, every life, every choice ever made, and it chooses who can use it wisely." Alex approached, reaching out with both hands, and the sphere pulsed, responding to his courage, sending visions through his mind of worlds saved, civilizations lifted from despair, alien children laughing, entire cities glowing with life. And then, suddenly, a dark presence pressed against him, a wave of fear, doubt, and anger, trying to push him away from the core, the shadows striking one last time, more powerful than before, a surge of darkness that could have shattered the city. The girl shouted, "Hold on, human, do not let it control you. This is your test too. Fight with your heart." Alex felt his courage flare, stronger than the fear, stronger than the darkness, and he pushed forward, every step toward the core, a battle, every heartbeat a defiance against the shadows. Light erupted from the sphere, blinding, warm, embracing, and the shadows screamed, dissolving into nothingness, unable to withstand the combination of his courage and the girl's power. Alex gasped, feeling the network flow into him, filling him with knowledge, with energy, with purpose. And he realized the truth. The network had not just brought him here to fight, it had brought him here to lead, to protect, to be more than a human. The girl smiled, her patterns glowing brighter than ever. "You did it, Alex. You proved yourself, not just to me, but to the network, to the worlds it protects. You are ready." Alex looked around, the chamber humming with energy, threads connecting every world, and he understood the responsibility now, the weight of courage, the power of hope, and the choice he had to make. "This is more than I imagined," he said softly. "I can feel everything, every life, every choice. It's overwhelming. But I will protect it no matter what comes." The girl reached out, placing her hand on his shoulder, energy flowing between them. "And you will not be alone, human. Together we are stronger. Together we can face anything." A soft rumble echoed through the chamber, and Alex knew the final challenge was coming. Something greater than shadows. Something testing not just courage, but the very bond between human and the girl. He took a deep breath, feeling the power of the network, feeling her beside him, and for the first time he felt ready for anything. Ready to face the final test, ready to protect hope itself. And in that moment he realized that being human was not a weakness. It was the greatest strength, the courage to stand, the will to fight, and the heart to believe. The chamber pulsed, the city trembled, and Alex and the girl prepared to face what no one else had ever faced, a trial that would decide the fate of countless worlds, a challenge that could either destroy them or make them legends. The light around them flared, and they stepped forward together, toward destiny itself, toward the choice that would change everything. The chamber pulsed with light, brighter than Alex had ever seen. Threads of energy connecting to every corner of the city and beyond, stretching to worlds he could not yet imagine. The shadows were gone, but a new presence filled the chamber. Larger, older, wiser, a consciousness older than any civilization Alex had known, its energy radiating like a sun, pressing against his mind with questions and tests. "You have come far, human," a voice echoed inside his head, calm but commanding. "You have protected the girl, faced the shadows, survived the trials, but now comes the true test, the final choice." Alex's heart pounded, every nerve alert. "What choice?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper, though the chamber carried it as if it were a shout. The girl stood beside him, patterns glowing brighter, her energy flowing into his like fire and water at once. "The core, it requires a decision, Alex, a choice that will affect every world it touches, every life it protects." Alex nodded, swallowing the lump in his throat. "Then tell me what I must choose." The consciousness pulsed, threads of light forming, visions around them, showing worlds at peace, civilizations thriving, children laughing, but also worlds in chaos, cities burning, aliens starving, all connected to the network and waiting for guidance. "You may choose to expand the network. Let it guide more worlds, protect more lives, but it will demand all of your courage, all of your heart, and will expose you to dangers beyond your imagination," the voice said, echoing in the chamber. "Or, you may seal the network, protect it here, safe from the outside threats, but its reach will be limited. Countless worlds may fall without guidance, and you will carry the weight of those you could not save." Alex looked at the girl, her glow, steady, unwavering. "This is impossible," he whispered. "I cannot fail, and yet I cannot save everyone." The girl's hand touched his, patterns of light dancing between them. "Courage is not in choosing the easy path, human. It is in choosing what is right, even when it hurts, even when it risks everything." Alex closed, his eyes feeling the network pulse in his veins, connecting to every world, every life, every choice made by those who had come before. And he realized that this decision was bigger than fear, bigger than pain. It was about hope, about the chance to make a difference. I will expand the network," he said finally, his voice firm, steady. "I will let it reach more worlds, protect more lives, and I will face whatever comes, no matter the cost." The chamber shuddered, threads of light spinning faster, the consciousness pulsing in approval. "Then you accept the burden, human, and the network will bind with you, your courage and heart guiding its purpose." Energy surged through Alex, overwhelming, almost unbearable, yet invigorating, his body trembling as he felt the network connect to him, every thread, every world, every heartbeat responding to his will. The girl smiled, her glow brighter than ever. "You did it, Alex. You chose hope, courage, and life over fear and limitation. Suddenly, a shadow appeared, unlike any before. Darker, sharper, more focused, a test from the network itself, a trial to see if his choice was true. If his courage could withstand the ultimate challenge, Alex faced it, heart steady, mind clear, and reached out with the network's energy flowing through him, confronting the shadow, not with violence, but with will, with hope, with the determination to protect. The shadow faltered, weakened by his resolve, and then dissolved, leaving only light, threads connecting every world, humming with life, with hope. With a promise of protection, Alex breathed, the weight of responsibility heavy but not crushing, the power of the network now part of him, a bond that could not be broken, a mission that would never end. The girl touched his shoulder, patterns of light dancing over their hands. This is just the beginning, human. The network will guide, protect, and challenge us, but together we can face anything. Alex smiled, feeling a warmth unlike any he had ever known. Courage, hope, and love, intertwining. Then let's face it together, he said, and the chamber pulsed with their combined energy, threads of light stretching across the galaxy, touching every world, connecting every life. The city below shimmered, alive with energy. The pulse of the network felt in every corner, and Alex realized that being human was not about weakness. It was about choice, heart, and courage. It was about standing even when the darkness tried to push him down. He looked at the girl, her eyes shining, patterns glowing with the rhythm of countless lives. And he knew that together, they could protect everything, guide everything, and face whatever challenges the universe would throw at them. And as the network settled, glowing threads intertwining with their hearts, Alex felt a quiet promise, a truth he could carry with him forever. That hope, courage, and love could change worlds, could save civilizations, and could create a future beyond imagination. The final choice had been made. The shadows were gone, and the human and the girl stepped forward, ready to face a universe that now belonged to those who dared to protect. The chamber pulsed one last time, a heartbeat of the galaxy, a sign that the network was alive, aware, and forever grateful to the human who bled, fought, and chose hope above all. And together, they walked into a new dawn, a new beginning, a future shaped by courage, love, and the bond between human and the alien girl, ready to face whatever came next.